For the first time in decades, a state is suing the federal government over the activation of the National Guard. California Governor Gavin Newsom argues that Trump's deployment of troops in Los Angeles was illegal. But has this happened before? Let's dive into the history. The National Guard is typically controlled by state governors, but the president can override that authority in certain situations. The last time this happened was in 1965, when President Lyndon B. Johnson deployed troops to Alabama without the governor's consent to protect civil rights activists marching from Selma to Montgomery. Alabama's governor at the time, George Wallace, refused to use state funds to protect the demonstrators, prompting Johnson to invoke the Insurrection Act, which allows the president to deploy military forces domestically. Now let's talk about California's lawsuit. Newsom argues that Trump's deployment violated state sovereignty. The National Guard was activated without proper coordination. The move was politically motivated rather than a response to an actual emergency. So what happens next? If California wins the lawsuit, it could set a precedent limiting presidential power over state-controlled forces. If Trump prevails, it could expand federal authority over the National Guard, making it easier for future presidents to override governors. Recent protests, like the Los Angeles immigration demonstrations, highlight the tension between state and federal power. With government restrictions, legal battles, and public backlash, the future of National Guard deployments remains uncertain. So, whether you're marching for change or studying history, this lawsuit matters. It could reshape the balance of power between states and the federal government. Smash that like button, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and YouTube at 99rights_online for more legal quickies. Catch you later. And remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed, stay empowered, and keep fighting for what's right. See you next time. Like this? If you found this information helpful and inspiring, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends and family.